What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm talking about DogMan, which sounds like he might be a new hero joining the MCU, but this is a new film from Luc Besson. Luc Besson, which premiered at the Venice Film Festival in 2023, I believe, and eventually found its way to Briarcliff because it was not well received. People did not know what to do with this movie. So much like The Apprentice, which Briarcliff also picked. Briar picked. I'm keeping that. We're rolling. Uh, Much like they did with The Apprentice, um, they went ahead and released Dogman on the hopes that, I don't know, some level of buzz. I don't think anybody really talked about this movie. I think it just kind of, but for the lucky few who have jumped in on Dogman, I gotta say, I don't know what's up with Venice, but this movie, we can't all be the brutalists. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't all be super serious, big sweeping epics. Sometimes you just need a movie that just makes you go, what did I just watch? What drug was Luc Besson on? When he was like, I have an idea for a film. um, I mean, you can see glimmers of Luc Besson, like if you're familiar with like The Professional, maybe in here there are like glimmers, but he's kind of become sort of. I mean, when you look at if all you know is like The Fifth Element, Lucy, Valerian. No, there's nothing here that resembles Luc Besson, that Luc Besson. But if you can see sort of maybe like La Femme Nikita and Leon, there's maybe like a hint that he wanted to kind of swing back around to that, but he's clearly been affected by the passage of time. So we have Caleb Landry Jones in a stunning performance. This movie is Caleb is just, I might put him on my top list. This is just such a batshit role that I loved it. It just he's required. I've never seen him do anything remotely close to this, so I'm fascinated. Um, he plays uh, Doug, who is I don't even know where to start. Um, at the beginning of the film, we sort of see Doug is in this interrogation room, and there's this caseworker psychiatrist that's been assigned to him because they're trying to figure Doug out. Doug is like a drag queen, maybe like in her his. I'm not even really sure what Doug's pronouns are. I don't know that anybody ever asks Doug there. We're gonna go with they. In their spare time, they um, moonlight as various celebrities at a drag bar. Doug likes to wear women's clothes. And it referenced in the audio, this movie does have audio description. So it's a reference in the audio description, like what type of clothes Doug is wearing at the top. And the psychiatrist sort of is like, what's up? Tell me your story. So we learn about Doug, and we learn about how Doug got here. You do see a little bit of it before the interview, but basically it's the unraveling of Doug's story from an incredibly abusive childhood where he found solace in dogs and kind of protecting dogs too. There's a scene where his father makes a horrifically bold choice. Is the best way I can say that, and results in a traumatic loss for Doug, which is why he's in the wheelchair that he's in for the whole movie. He is basically paralyzed, although he has these braces for his legs because he can stand. Although the doctors tell him that if he does, that it runs the risk of his bone marrow fluid dripping into his spinal column and killing him. I'm not a doctor. I didn't follow this, and this is just as it was being given to us. So don't look at me. Um, so he, but he has become basically like dog Jesus, and all of these dogs flock to him, and he claims he doesn't train them, but like he communes with the dogs. So he has like a dog army. He's DogMan. And he lives in this sort of like condemned old school, and he uses the dogs for everything. I mean, the dogs they go steal, you know, treasure for him so that he can sell it and then use it to buy things, you know, clothes for himself or food for the dogs or whatever. But I mean, he takes care of a lot of dogs. Some of them have names. There's a little Jack Russell Terrier. It's like, it's begin with an M. Something. There's one that's in there that I remember had a name, and they used it in the audio description, which was pretty cool. That they treated him like he was a character. Most of the time, we don't get around to naming all the dogs, so. But you get descriptions of them. There's a dog that has like a star on its, like in its a star pattern in its fur. And you see him sort of go through these things. A lot of it is about unraveling his childhood, which sort of gets her to tap into sort of her past experiences. The psychiatrist, she sort of references that she's had, you know, a little bit of a hard time herself. And there are these various experiences that Doug goes through where they have to, where things ultimately resort in ways that I'm sure the law would look negatively upon him, although technically he doesn't really do anything. It's just his dogs. I mean, you know, he doesn't really do anything anyway, but it's just, you know, and to some extent when he, like, at one point he's like, well, just claim self-defense. I mean, like, how, you know, you got a guy who's in a wheelchair versus a guy who's not, and somehow the guy in the wheelchair won without shooting a gun, you know what I'm saying? Like, without using a ranged weapon. I'm saying that's pretty impressive. Like, I don't know how you don't claim self-defense on that one. But this is a weird movie. This is a movie that made me, like, I've seen maybe 2 other movies since I've done this channel where I felt like there needs to be like another grading scale, like like a star chart or something like that. I give this the grade of Gemini. Like, I feel like Dogman is just on like a different level, and it's not trying to be on an A through F scale or a 1 through 10. I don't think this is like a critical movie. I just don't, it's so out there, it's so weird, and it's so bizarre. And I've had such a fun time watching a couple films this year that have been just utterly weird, just taking big swings. I've seen this after I've already seen Joker Folie à Deux and Megalopolis and The End, which are all just sort of really interesting swings. But this one, I gotta say, for Luc Besson, is just takes the cake. I enjoy this the most. I would watch this again. I think Caleb Landry Jones has the most definitively excellent performance of any of the films that I've listed thus far that sort of fall into this "what the f*** is going on" category. It's really hard to look at this film and go, "Nah, he's doing a bad job." It's like, actually, he's kind of doing a phenomenal job. Have you seen this man's career? I've seen nothing in his career that resembles remotely this performance, but he was kind of captivating. I thought it was amazing, but it's a very strange film. It's not going to be for everybody. It's very queer, and that's going to turn a lot of people off. Caleb's playing this. I don't even know. I seriously don't think. I think part of the reason they brought in the psychiatrist is because they wanted the like definitive answer as to gender identity. And I don't actually remember us getting that. I think his story is so uniquely whatever. I don't think his gender identity matters here either because it wouldn't change anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing about it that would change based on pronouns what how the film laid out or would reflect how people see them differently. So I'm really not sure it matters. But it is a very bizarre film for Luc Besson to be making. um, I don't know what his thought was. This was he like, I want to really make like a queer version of Leon, but instead of kids, I want dogs. Like, but also I don't want him to be professional. I want him to be a drag queen. Like, I really don't know because it has a little bit of that too. There's like a local drug lord who I guess you could substitute in for like Gary Oldman's character in Leon. But yeah, this is such an interesting movie. And it doesn't take place in France either. It takes place in Jersey. So, in New Jersey. So, what a film. What a very interesting film. Um, you know, I don't know what to do with this film in terms of grade. I thought the audio description was fantastic. It was really well done. So kudos to that. Thanks to Briarcliff for putting audio description on a movie, especially considering I've seen The Apprentice and it did not have audio description on the Apple Store. I got this on the Apple Store. And yeah, just I don't know what to do with this movie. I'm gonna give it an A because I'm fascinated by it. I'm enthralled. I want to see it again. It checked all of the marks, but I also fully acknowledge the fact that it may not actually be a good movie, like, and that it will not be for everybody. So my A means nothing. My A can be an F. My A could be a C. My A could be whatever because this is one movie that I wouldn't recommend just right out to anybody unless I knew that they were in the mood for some just really left field filmmaking, or they were a deep fan of Luc Besson and were just trying to check off everything on the list. I'd be like, then you have to see, because I don't know what he's doing right now. I don't know what he's trying. I don't know what his messaging is here, but this is certainly one of the weirdest movies he's ever made, with sort of an interesting ending. It's sort of steeped in religion. It's got like a lot of like religious undertones about if that's God's will. The ending is pretty much like, that's why I said like dog Jesus. It wasn't just me joking. It's like there are a lot of religious references. The ending of the film is very suggestive in terms of the religious undertones. He's balancing a lot here. Luke is he's swinging for the fences, and I kind of appreciate that. It's a lot better than him just jumping in and doing like another sci-fi action movie. Why not let him do a queer supernatural? I don't know. I don't even trauma thriller. I don't know what to call this movie because it's about a dude who communicates with dogs without actually communicating with them. Um, so yeah, there's that. That's Dogman. Uh, I feel changed. I feel like I've been changed as like a person, and sometimes it's a good experience. Um, yeah, wow. It's just I'm like deep in this award season. I'm looking for something to just come out and smack me in the face, and Dogman did it. Megalopolis tried, Joker tried. They're both sort of interesting in their failure to do much. The end was a little bit better. I kind of enjoyed that. All big swings, but man, Dogman, I was not ready for Dogman. This takes the cake for weirdest and biggest swing that I enjoyed the most. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.